Alright, how's it going, everybody? Had to get the old grizz in before we started this video. So today I'm going to show you one of my tackle boxes and a couple of the poles I like to use whenever I go fishing. So this is one of them. It's FLW, pretty big. It holds 3 of the big plastic containers and 2 of the small ones, and then extra storage on top. So I'm just going to go through here and show you a few things that I like to use. Before we get started inside here, everything I have in this tackle box I've caught multiple fish on. That's why they're in my tackle box, so I can use it to catch fish. So we'll start with one of the big ones here, and this is my plastic box. It's got my worms, and probably when it gets real hot outside I like to use the plastic worms, and this is one of my favorite ones here. It's Cream. Colors I really like from Cream or the green like I have here, black and purple. If I'm fishing somewhere where the water's a little bit deeper and there's a little bit bigger fish, instead of the regular worms, I like to switch to one that's a little bit longer and has the flip tail on it. I don't know why, it's always just worked better for me that way. But I've got various sizes, various colors, various types, flip tails. Here where the body is like bumped out. Same thing with the black one here. Anywhere from 6 to about, I don't know, 9 inches I think is what I go with it. If I'm fishing a place that's really weedy, I like to hook mine up weedless. That way I can get down in the water a little bit further. For me, when I do it, I just go ahead, I take that hook, I poke the point of it through the head and back out, and then I run it to the top of the hook, bring it back up through the worm's body, just about to where it's almost poking up through the worm. That way your hook's not getting snagged in a bunch of weeds and stuff down the bottom. And then when I'm fishing these, sometimes I'll use a little bullet sinker. Not too often, but just depends. And that'll go on your line before you tie your hook. So you put the bullet sinker on, tie your hook, hook it up weedless, and you're going to be able to drag through all the stuff that sits down the bottom. When I'm working worms, I tend to work them very, very slow, and I give them some jerks just to give that body and the tail some action. The bass love it. But I've also got some that are white, some exactly like this, except they're clear. Everything in here that I have has caught fish. Here's like a black with a pinkish reddish tail. And then also in here I have a couple spinner baits. These are the ones that I like real well when they got the 2 spoons on them. I have some that only have the 1 spoon, but I like to use the ones with 2 better. On to the next box. It's a bunch of lures that I have. Anything from poppers of various sizes, different colors. Poppers is another thing I love to use whenever it's really hot outside. Just bring them across top of the water, pop them across. Top water is probably one of my favorite things about bass fishing because I love to see them jump up out of the water and hit the lure. One thing that I had a lot of luck on last year that I found would be these, and it's a moss mouse, so good for weedy areas. It's got two hooks in the back. Whenever the fish, say you're popping it across the top or making it swim across the top, fish comes up and hits it, their mouth is going to depress that body, and then you set the hook and these two hooks will get it. And I had awesome luck with these last year. There's different sizes, different colors of the mice. Here's a couple bigger ones that are a little bit different colored, and they just work very, very well. Jitterbug, I've got different colors of them. They work real well. You can either bring them across the water like a popper, or you can actually make them look like a bug that's kind of crawling across the water, so it really looks like this as you're bringing it across the water. You just basically walk it across. One of my favorite topwater baits is a buzz bait. So you throw it out in the water, and as you're reeling in, it's going to come across the top of the water with this spinning up here. The one that I really like the best has another little metal piece right here. It looks kind of like a triangle. I had one, I lost it. But as this is spinning, it's also hitting that little piece of metal, just making a lot more noise, and it attracts the fish a lot better. From here, we're going to move into my catfish box. One of them anyways. This one, it just holds everything that I need for a slip bobber, minus my little tubes. But we've got the slip bobbers, bobber stops, little holders for like glow sticks, hooks. I like to use a 6/0 if I'm going after bigger catfish. And then if I'm fishing on bottom, various sizes of sinkers. That way it just keeps me down at the bottom depending on where I'm fishing at. So that's it for the 3 big boxes that this one holds. Next I'm going to move on to the little one of them anyways. This is the one that I use for like crappie, bluegill, just smaller fish that I want to use bobbers on. Then I have various size hooks in here. They're all really small hooks, but some of them are bigger than the other ones. Different size split shots. Bigger ones, smaller ones. And that's about it that I have in there. I don't really fish for small fish that often. For the second small box, I like to call this my cricket box. And whenever I'm going after smallmouth or anything like that, whatever I have in here is what I use. So in here, I got a bunch of different little tubes, different colors, and multiple grubs. Different sizes, different lengths, different type tails where, you know, you got a single twist tail, you got a curly tail, and you got a double tail. I have a couple rooster tails in here that are kind of hooked together right at this moment, but that's okay. And then these are my all-time favorite lure for catching a smallmouth. I don't know who makes them. I found them about 5 years ago, and then when I got back from the Army, I tried to find them in the stores again. Had no luck. I got on eBay. I typed in yellow, white, and black grub, and I found one pack of about 50. I think I paid like $10 or something like that with shipping and everything. Got a little deal here. It's got a spinner on it. You put your hook over here on this end, and as you're coming through, the water this will spin. If I'm fishing in the creek, these are the types of hooks that I use. We've got various sizes and weights, and they've got different color schemes. You basically find them in any color and any size. So when I'm fishing for smallmouth, I'll take one of these, I just shoot it through the top. I go almost down to where the tail is. Put it in, push it up to where that head is, where the jig head is. And that's how I rig up for smallmouth. Typically I wade in the water, and from there, I cast out, I let it go across the bottom here, and I give it some jerks as I'm reeling, and the smallmouth love it. So going into my top storage here, I just have a couple different lures in there, some backup cream worms, have a waterproof notepad in case I want to write down whatever I caught that day. If it gets wet, it doesn't matter, it's not going to smear. And then this is the line that I like to use. It's called Suffix. So far, it's the best line I've ever got. I get it from Dick's. This one here is 8-pound test, and I just cannot get this line to knot up. I use a bait caster. I'm not too good at it, but I'm learning. And with this, if I get like a little rat's nest in there or something, I just pull on the line and it comes right out. It just will not knot up on me. I don't know why, but I like that. Poles I use, I got two of my favorite here. I got this one here. It is a Black Max. It is made by Abu Garcia. It's got the Black Max bait caster on it. It's lined up with that Suffix 8-pound line. When I'm bass fishing, this is the one that I take with me all the time, and I don't know how many fish I've already caught on this thing. Moving on to when I go to the creeks and fishing for smallmouth, I have a little 4-footer, and it's an ugly stick. And I like the really short pole to go into the creeks with, because you can cast into underneath all the brush and trees and everything really easy with a shorter pole. So right now it's almost dark, so here in a few minutes I'm probably going to go out and try to catch me some frogs. We'll see how that goes.